This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Where we want to educate you about our market, empower you to make wise decisions, and help you engage with our expert contributors.
So, John, I wanted to ask you, of late we've seen that the loan business, the mortgage business is crazy busy. You guys are doing a ton of refis right now, right?
Ton of business all the way around, for sure. I actually read a headline today on CNBC on their website, mortgage lenders is making the most money and doing busy and being super busy, and it's absolutely true. Like, where have you guys been?
Yeah.
Because as soon as we reopened, just where interest rates fell to, that sort of thing, it just lit a fire under the mortgage industry for sure.
Yeah, I clearly. And so, but what I've also noticed is it's having an impact on us in as real estate agents in transaction times. Tell me.
Yeah, your time frames are stretching, right?
They are.
Yeah.
So we have to listen. First of all, we always tell all of our team members, hey, when you're writing up an offer, make sure you go through it with the lender and the timelines. And when I do one, I always call you, hey, John, what can we do?
And it's funny, but I mean, the human being side of this is, as a lender, when you give me that call, right? We're talking that through. I want to promise you the best I could possibly do. If everything goes right and we have the wind at our back, and that's the instinct of your lender on the phone.
It's only natural.
It's really hard for them to be honest with you and say, I really could use an extra 2 days on that to be able to make sure and not be over promising.
Right.
It's something that comes with confidence and experience and that sort of thing. So I am hearing all over the place where, lender promises one thing and then they blow right past that date.
Yeah. Have you experienced any issues with that, Danielle, of late?
Yes. You're one in a few that like to communicate or that you do communicate, because I would say the vast majority of them don't.
If before we said we should be able to close a transaction in 30 days, what do you think is reasonable now? I mean, what would you... Okay, John. Hey, John, I got a buyer, wants to write an offer. Yeah. How long an escrow do I need? What's the timeline?
Yeah, those of us that sort of specialize in the purchase business, and the companies like ours, and there are a number of them out there, ultimately, we will put purchase transactions to the head of the line. Right? So we prioritize those transactions over refinances. Not to say that refinances are not important.
But refinances don't have a deadline.
They don't have deadlines.
That's the thing.
Nobody's going to lose money.
What did I say yesterday, Carly? Refis don't have deadlines. I said that yesterday.
I experienced that during COVID. We were 90 plus days with a refi.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Refinances can have more flexibility and that sort of thing. So even good lenders are telling people, give us 45 days on refinances. Right. And then reasonably a purchase should be able to be pulled off in 30 to 35 days.
Okay.
So not too much longer.
Right, just a little bit. Now, the other issue within lending is appraisals, and they're taking a little bit longer sometimes too.
What was pre-COVID, before all this craziness, before all the extra volume, I could reliably get an appraisal in 7 days without paying any rush fees or asking for favors. And now, pretty consistently, they're hitting me with 10 days.
Yeah.
I think another date we should be concerned about is being fully loan approved, right? We have the loan contingency date.
Yeah,
which
you don't want to, be too aggressive on those. You want to stretch that time period out. So right now, if in the pre-COVID world, I could have an agent come to me and say, John, I know you asked for 22 days on the loan approval contingency time period, but I would like to sweeten this offer. And this is the reality of this market right now, where buyers are competing for properties. They're looking for ways to sweeten their offer for a seller without just simply throwing more money at them. And so one of the things they come back to us with is, how do I shorten my time frames?
Yeah.
And obviously I get pushed or get asked, can you do it in 18 days to get the loan approval and these type of things? That's becoming more and more difficult to do with this amount of volume.
Right. Yeah.
And I've said this to you on the show previously, but I can't say it enough. The industry was staffed for about $1 trillion of mortgages to be done this year.
Right.
There's $3 trillion of mortgages trying to be done.
Wow.
So it's triple the volume we had staff for.
We had a couple of buyers have their appraisals just waived.
Oh, I love this.
Isn't that great?
It's amazing for me as a lender. Yes. And it's good for consumers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What you want to know about that is over the last roughly 15 years, the rule makers, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, have been gathering every appraisal report and putting it into their computer systems, their databases. And so they've been monitoring home values for quite a while. And ultimately, what they're doing now is, whether it be a purchase or even or a refinance, it is possible to have them tell us that we don't require an appraisal on this house, that they believe that there's enough safety in the loan, meaning I have a borrower with a great credit score, they're putting a good size down payment, and it just so happens that the value is close enough to be a low-risk loan, you can waive the appraisal.
Nice.
And so it does happen on purchases. It does happen even more frequently on refinances. We were always recommended to get 15-year mortgages.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
15-year mortgages had lower interest rates, but really the bigger reason why you wanted a 15-year mortgage is because if you look at the breakdown of how much of your payment goes to interest versus how much of your payment goes to principal, you start out at about 50-50. Half your money going to principal, half to going to interest. You make a lot of progress on your loan balance right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Historically, 30-year loans has not been the case. Very minor amount of interest.
Yeah.
Minor amount of principal, lots of interest.
Right.
But here's the thing. With today's interest rates being so low, that is now no longer the case.
Oh, that's a good point.
A 30-year mortgage, you're paying something in the neighborhood of 40%
Yep.
of your payment is going to principal now.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. It's
Crazy.
such a powerful tool that people don't even know that they're taking advantage of right now.
Yep.
You are doing the same thing as buying your home tens of thousands of dollars cheaper than at a higher interest rate. And you are going to build sort of family wealth so much faster that it's going to have huge long-term effects for people.
Yep.
My opinion.
Yep.
Which may be a reason not to wait.
I absolutely.
If
I
some
do not
people are
believe
on the
in waiting.
fence of whether they should buy now or wait.
I think
So
it's critical.
financially-
I think it's a critical comment, and for me, the cost, it makes the cost of buying a home now so much less than it was even when prices were higher, and when they may go higher later. You need to keep thinking about that right now. The interest rates are so low.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about low interest rates for the last 15 years,
Right,
but
and
not
they've
like
just gotten
this.
Lower
This
and lower.
Not
and
like
lower,
this.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing on the radar at this point that says we should have higher interest
Yeah.
rates.
Okay. So this week I just put up the screen, guys. We currently available. Now again, this is just single-family homes, and right now we have 5,204 single-family homes on the market. That's actually up a little bit, 83 from last week, but still a very low number. In the past 7 days, we put 857 homes in escrow. That's just about the same as last week. We've closed 518 homes over the last 7 days. That's down quite a bit from last week, but last week was the first week, had the last week of the month in it. So that's why that was a bigger number.
Yeah, you always get a surge.
You do. And then 154 homes were withdrawn in the last 7 days, which is down significantly. That's actually a very low number. The median sold price was $335,104. That's down nearly $4,000 from last week. But again, the median sold price, when we're talking about this with a week's worth of data, it's a small sample size. Don't take too much. Just look at the trend, and we'll follow those trends as we go forward. The sold price per square foot is a little better number to look at. That went to $175.57. That also went down a little bit, down to $2.59. What's interesting to me is the median days on market went down 9 days, from 41 to 32.
Wow.
That's
up.
a
That's big.
huge number. That's a crazy. We haven't seen a number like that the whole time I've been doing this. That's a big drop in days on market. Now, the inventory went up, but the days on market went down. Isn't that interesting? To me, that's they should run synchronous.
Together,
they should
right?
be together.
Yeah.
But the reason, the only reason I can propose that they didn't run together is that we're going to see a ramp up in activity in the near term, in the very near term, and we're starting to see a little bite of that now. A presidential election has a slowing down of the market. It just everybody just pulls back and waits to see what happens. Not that the outcome has a big impact on our local real estate here, but they all do. They just kind of step back. That's not happening right now. We're seeing everyone. I mean,
Doesn't
I think
feel
there's
like it.
pent up demand.
Yeah,
from,
we're still
from
making
COVID.
up from the
Right?
springboard from the COVID shutdown.
I think so.
It's pretty clear that we've had a surge in business and in the number of transactions, and that is straining our market to a certain level, right?
Yeah.
Feels like spring.
Right.
It really does. It doesn't feel like we're going into, I know we're just into September, but it does feel like it's maybe March.
Now we're talking about markets, so I want to talk about a different market. I want to talk about a market not in our valley here. I want to talk about a market that's somewhere west
Mesquite.
of here,
Unincorporated.
west of here,
exactly.
And
64 miles from here.
64 miles from here. Tell us a
Better
little.
not be in a different county.
No.
It is a different county.
It
It's
is a
Nye
different
County.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
64 miles
How
from here.
exciting!
Yeah.
and
Tell us about Pahrump, Danielle.
Right?
What's the population out there now? Do we have any idea?
I do.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, as of July 2019, it's 46,523.
Nice.
And do you know what
Still
Pahrump
small
means?
town?
What's Pahrump mean?
It's named after the indigenous name Pahrumpi, and they got its name because of the abundance of artesian water wells in the valley.
Oh, wow. Interesting. And I learned a lot about Pahrump when we were, this is years and years ago when we were down there. We scouted, we bought this piece of land. And they have what they call the fan, right? Carly, you've heard of the fan. The fan is on the north side of the valley, and it's the mountains. And what happens is when it rains, the water just comes running down those hills like a fan. Like it just floods out the whole north side of the valley, basically.
So that's a great thing to mention.
Yeah.
It's in a flood zone?
Yeah, significant part of Pahrump
Right.
is in a flood zone, right? Is this something you were going to say already? Did I steal it?
No, but
Okay.
I've sold a few properties out there in my years, and they've all been in flood zones.
Yeah,
And the one I pulled yesterday is in a flood zone.
it is.
It's a big chunk of
So I
the
would venture
Pahrump
to
Valley,
say.
basically.
Yeah, because they don't have the infrastructure we have here.
Well, besides that,
having a
there's
good time.
the winery. Got to mention the winery.
Right,
They talk about
alcohol.
playing golf, geocaching. I don't even know what that is. If you like ATVs.
Geocaching?
Geocache.
It's caching. You hide a
Caching.
cache of things, and adventurers go and find it with GPS and that kind of thing. It's part of like a little scavenger hunt. Think
Oh,
of it
that's
that
going to
way.
be the next thing we do.
All right.
Oh.
With wine
okay.
involved.
Yeah, wine and
I just spit on curve.
Nice.
Okay, so trails for the dunes, and then hiking Spring Mountain National Recreational Area.
Lots of properties with wells and septic systems, right?
Yeah.
That's the very common thing out there. New construction
rural.
happening out there, right?
A lot of new construction.
Which is really interesting to me as far as affordability. You're getting properties there for hundreds of thousands of dollars less, correct?
Correct. I pulled it about 100. I mean, there was a smaller one that was 64,000. You could probably tear it down and build new, but anything up to, I think 850 was the highest price, but reasonably priced. 150,000, 250,000 could get you a good house out there.
Nice.
Yeah, what I'm
Would
seeing
you
in like
agree? And a little bit of land.
Right.
And aren't there special grants for rural areas?
there is special
Or-
a USDA financing, which is
Right.
a
I should
special
say
type of
grants,
loan.
I should say
And
financing,
then
sorry.
there is down payment assistance through the Nevada Rural Housing Agency, our authority, and other assistance programs that can help you to buy it there. And I think one of the things that when you're in the Las Vegas Valley and you're seeking affordability, it can be tough, right? Especially if you have a family of size and you need affordable.
And you need land. And you want space.
Yeah, or you need space, that sort of thing. So out there, you're getting a lot of property, certainly with no HOAs, but even the new construction, I'm seeing a lot of that come across our systems in the twos. Like plenty of it in 250, 275, that kind of thing, which is, when combined with these interest rates, super affordable.
Please join us again next week as we keep you up to date on everything real estate here in Southern Nevada. Remember, send me any questions or ideas for next week's broadcast. Tune in every Thursday at 3. Also, please let your friends and family know to like our Facebook page and be reminded about our updates at LV Real Estate Radio. We'll catch you next week. Thanks again for joining us.